Someone named Setsuna Rikudu once said that law, morality, love, and justice are all just a farce created by humans. Because there was only one thing that ruled this world: violence. In a scene change, more precisely in a school, a teacher informs the students that the exam results will be published soon and then asks if they want her to announce their grades. Revealing that they are all terrible, she urges them to at least put in some effort next time. Additionally, she shares other news, informing everyone that Masamichi Akita took first place in all subjects once again, something they had already expected it to happen. At that moment, some of the young man's classmates start congratulating him, but he replies that it was just pure luck. Even the teacher asks them to learn something from Akita so they can stop embarrassing themselves. His classmates continue congratulating him, which makes Akita show off his glasses and think about thanking them for being complete idiots. He reflects that thanks to their inability to even write their names on the exams, he will be able to enter the University of Tokyo, work at a good company, and leave this wretched city. Since he concludes that in this world, smart people succeed, right at that moment, a girl arrives and hugs him from behind while asking if he can help her. She informs him that she won't have enough credits to pass. But before she can finish speaking, the young man replies that he will help her when he has hit the land. At the same time, he curses her in his mind and wishes she would just disappear. But something he didn't notice was that another student was watching him. Later, that same student hits him and Akita asks why, calling him Ikushima and wondering what's wrong with him and why he's suddenly hitting people. Ikushima glares at him with rage and responds that he saw how Akita was looking at his girl. Akita reflects on what he is saying, recalling the moment when the girl had asked him for help. The young man who was hit, upon hearing that, looks at him and thinks that he is a complete idiot. He reflects that Ikushima is like a monkey in heat, paranoid that someone is going to steal his mate. Concluding that he is fighting against his own delusions, Akita decides that he has no reason to waste his time on fools like him. Akita replies that it's fine and that it won't happen again, apologizing before leaving. But Ikushima calls him back, only to hit him again and knock him to the ground. Once there, the bully asks if he thinks everyone is beneath him and then demands that he kneel. Akita does as he is told, while at the same time reflecting that he doesn't have to fight and realizes that this is because he is intelligent. He knows that his opponent practices karate and has competed in national tournaments, and if he dares to stand up to him, he will surely be beaten to a pulp. Besides, he knows that Ikushima won't have any real power once he steps into society, so he tells him to enjoy it while he can. Therefore, kneeling on the ground is the smartest move. Just then, someone asks if they are done. Revealing that a girl was watching them closely, Akita is the first to ask who she is, but the young girl doesn't answer and simply smiles. Then she asks Ikushima if he wouldn't rather fight her. This leaves the karateka confused. Well, not just him. Ikushima immediately leaves, warning Akita not to go near his girl. Akita, meanwhile, wonders if this girl came to help him. He thinks she must have, since just a few words were enough to make Ikushima leave. Concluding that this girl also made a smart move, Akita thanks her but then immediately asks who she is. However, the mysterious girl asks why he is running away. This catches Ikushima's attention, and she quickly follows up by saying that it's fine and that she completely understands, saying that karate fighters don't have the guts to fight for real. Ikushima, upon hearing that, asks what she just said, and the girl responds that karate is not a real martial art, especially traditional karate. She explains that they can't land full force blows on their opponents, only pretending to strike. But if any of those attacks make actual contact, they are disqualified. Concluding that such a farce can't be called a martial art, Ikushima, upon hearing that, curses at her and asks what she wants. The girl responds by asking if he still hasn't figured it out. She informs him that what she wants is a fight. This surprises everyone. And so, Ikushima charges it at her, as traditional karate is characterized by incredibly fast attacks. With a single movement, he manages to close the distance in less than a second. The girl, on the other hand, doesn't seem to react at all, and without a doubt, that blow is going to hit her right in the face. Then, just before his strike connects, Ikushima stops, as it was supposed to be just a threat. He wanted to teach this girl a lesson for mocking his karate and his so-called fake attacks. She, meanwhile, smiles, and he realizes the mistake he has made, as that threat, the fist, he should have pulled back immediately, remains there, unmoving. Before he can react, the girl accepts his invitation to fight by striking Ikushima's arm. The young man screams in pain, and the girl comments that he's overreacting, saying she didn't even break a bone, then informing him that now she will get serious. Ikushima prepares a kick, but the girl begins to dodge every single one of his attacks. Akita, seeing this, reflects on how she dodged all his attacks and how Ikushima can't even touch her. This makes him wonder who this girl really is. She comments that he was supposed to be the second best in the country and wonders how he can say that. Then she says that he is pathetic. That enrages Ikushima, who laughs a little and mentions that now he will get serious, asking her not to say that he didn't warn her. That excites the girl, who asks if he is really going to get serious. It seems true, as Ikushima assumes a different stance, using a move that won him the national championship. Generally, karate strikes start from the legs, but this move follows a technique that deviates from the standard karate rules. The strike starts from the fist, and the feet follow through, skipping the usual preparation and allowing the hit to land before the opponent can react. People call that technique the lightning strike, but after hitting her, the girl counterattacks, leaving Akita astonished. She mentions that the last strike was incredible, confessing that she didn't see it coming. She says she wanted to dodge it, but in the end, she took the hit. Additionally, she reveals that the strike was very weak, and that if he only wanted to land a hit, he succeeded. But the strength of the attack leaves much to be desired. She concludes that if he wants to defeat someone, he has to aim to kill. There is no other option. Akita finds that incredible, even more so that a woman was able to defeat a man and that there is logic behind it. He considers that he can see a certain beauty in all of this. That's when he calls out to her and asks if she could teach him how to fight. That surprises the girl, and the young man thinks that not only fools fight, he believes that if she was able to fight, then even if he was bullied, he would no longer be afraid. On the other hand, if he became friends with that girl, Ikushima would never mess with him again. He concludes that this would be the smartest move. However, the girl suddenly embraces him, getting very close to him. This makes him ask her to wait, but before he can finish the sentence, she knees him in the stomach. The young man stumbles back, almost falling, and then notices that he is bleeding. He asks one approaching him. She replies that she will give him an example. She explains that if he were in the African savannah and saw a lion about to eat a zebra, would he go pet the lion's head and say, "Good boy"? Hearing that, Akita asks what she is talking about, and she responds by questioning whether he would pet the lion or not. The young man clearly answers no because the lion would eat him too. The girl is pleased with that response, as it is the correct one, and she is glad he understood it, because that is exactly what is happening here. She moves even closer to him, only to deliver a kick to his legs. The girl asks why he thought she wouldn't hit him, when she clearly can and will subdue him with violence. She questions whether he thought the law would protect him, or perhaps morality, justice, or love. She informs him that all those ideas are a farce, and that right now, she can do whatever she wants to him. That is the only thing he can be certain of. She says that violence is the only thing that rules this world. Akita cannot understand that reasoning, but he admits that she is absolutely right, because this girl could eliminate him here and now, and that is the reality he is living at this moment, and therefore, the only thing he can do is surrender and beg for mercy like a little puppy. The girl looks at him, then smiles, pats his head, and tells him he is a good boy. She says she hopes he lives his whole life that way. Akita reflects that he had no logical reason, and maybe it was out of pure rage or helplessness, or perhaps just because she turned her back on him. But whatever the case, he felt an impulse and moved forward to hit her. But the girl turns around and calls him pathetic, only to land a punch on his face, knocking him unconscious on the ground. At that moment, he begins to dream, and in that dream, he was someone strong who exercised violence as he pleased. When he wakes up in his bed, he thinks that was the worst. At school, Ikushima's girlfriend asks why her boyfriend didn't come to class, saying that he won't tell her. Akita pretends not to know, but remembers the girl from yesterday. He decides to assume that everything that happened that day was just a dream, or rather, a nightmare. He believes that using violence as one pleases is quite stupid, and that's not his way, so he has to forget about it, since he doesn't think he'll ever see her again. But then he wonders if she is from another school and what she was doing there. Just then, the teacher asks the students to take their seats, as she has an important announcement to make. That's when the girl from yesterday appears, introduces herself as Setsuna Rikudu, and announces that she has just transferred. She tells everyone that she likes cooking, sewing, going to the theater, and, of course, violence. That leave all the students somewhat confused and surprised. At that moment, Rikudu spots the boy from yesterday, greets him, and the teacher asks if she knows Akita. The girl responds that she does, and upon learning his name, she approaches him and comments that they had a lot of fun yesterday. Then, she asks if he wants to do it again. Akita reflects that this is the story of an act of violence called Setsuna Rikudu.
And with that, we've reached the end of this week's chapter. If you made it all the way to the end, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this chapter in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe so our community can keep growing and we can reach more fans like you. See you in the next video. In the meantime, if you're from the near future, I'll leave you the next chapter and a comic you're sure to enjoy. Thank you for being part of this adventure.